It wasn't an algorithm. You need to understand that first. The images and sounds you were shown, the cryptic numbers that appeared in your recommendations, that was a signal, a tuning fork resonating with something already inside of you. You were chosen because you are one of the few who senses that the reality we see is just a fraction of the whole story, a beautiful, hypnotic, but fragmented echo. For months, you've been collecting those echoes, feeling their power without understanding the source. Consider this video the first translation of that source. This is not another theory or a guess. This is the blueprint, the very architecture of the philosophy you've been subconsciously drawn to. What you are about to see is the key that elevates you from a mere spectator of the mystery to an active participant in its unfolding. The puzzle pieces are in your hands. Now, let's begin to assemble them.
Do you ever get that fleeting doubt about what reality really is? Or rather, have you ever dared to question whether the solid, dependable world around you actually exists before you look at it? I know. It sounds like a paradox, the kind of verbal gymnastics that makes philosophers sigh and physicists chuckle before they get back to chasing their subatomic particles, occupying a tiny space in an endless void. But the question is serious. Or maybe it isn't. It all depends on who's doing the observing, and when they're observing it, assuming when even means anything here. Let's try a little thought experiment. Picture yourself not in a room, but floating in an ocean of pure potential. In this ocean, nothing is solid. Every single point in space and time is just a possibility, a maybe, waiting for something to happen. This fundamental fabric of existence isn't a fixed thing. It's more like a shimmering field of probabilities that only snaps into focus the moment you look at it. Kind of like a desert mirage that vanishes the second you try to touch it. Think you're walking through a predictable, measurable space, or moving along a straight timeline from past to future. That's a lovely, comforting thought. It's also an illusion. As Morpheus would say, blue pill, the story ends. But you didn't take the blue pill, did you? You're surfing on waves of probability, and that quantum sea only becomes solid ground when your consciousness decides to look down. Your focus, your observation, is what turns a maybe into an is. Consciousness, the universe's quiet co-author. Some thinkers, from ancient mystics to modern physicists, have dared to suggest that matter doesn't exist unless it's being observed, that the entire cosmos, with its swirling galaxies and cosmic dust, only unfurls from the scroll when a gaze falls upon it. But here's the million-dollar question. Who is looking at whom? Are you creating the world with every glance? Or is the world fooling you with a clever imitation of solidity? Are you comfortably wrapped in the certainties your mind has spun for you, like a spider in its own web, oblivious to the vast emptiness around it? Or do you have a nagging suspicion that beneath the smooth, polished surface of everyday life there's something else? Whispers from forgotten philosophies and hints from modern physics speak of primordial vibrations, invisible strings humming in a secret harmony that creates the illusion of matter. In this view, the universe is a colossal musical instrument, and every one of us is just a single note in a grand cosmic symphony. But here's the kicker. This isn't a pre-written piece of music. The score is changing in real time. Just when you think you've figured out the rhythm, the melody shifts, the key changes, and the entire composition rewrites itself. It's the ultimate cosmic joke. You're a musician playing in an orchestra that's improvising the song as it goes along. This brings us back to the Matrix. Not the one from movies, but a living, breathing framework of pure potentiality that vibrates just beneath our senses. In this realm, nothing is set in stone, no path is fixed. Every moment is a crossroads, a branching path of infinite possibilities. Physicists have a neat term for this: the collapse of the wave function. It's a fancy way of saying that's the moment when potential becomes actual, when one of those countless maybes crystallizes into a single defined is. But who makes the choice? Who rolls the dice? You do. Or maybe not. Maybe just as you're observing the world, something is observing you. It's a game of cosmic mirrors, an endless series of Russian dolls, with no one quite sure who the first observer is. As a certain rock star once asked, is this the real life, or is this just fantasy? So, what's the takeaway? Simply this: reality is far less solid and objective than we're taught to believe. What you call the present is just a shaky agreement between a sea of probabilities and your own focused consciousness. Every choice you make might just be one path chosen from an infinity you never even saw. It's a thought that can either make you smile or send a shiver down your spine. Either way, the Matrix continues to exist, indifferent to our questions. It's a sphinx with a secret too big to tell. But then again, isn't that the whole point of the game? The mystery, the search, the dance between what we know and what we don't. And you're right in the middle of it, weaving your own thread into the grand tapestry. Who knows, maybe, one day, you'll stop seeing the code and start seeing the true reality, a reality that's waiting for you, the observer, to play it like the magnificent instrument it is. See you in the next episode.